the time. As people age, they complain about their metabolism slowing down. One way to boost your metabolism is to increase your muscle mass. 22 News registered dietitian Nancy Dell joins us with more details. Nancy, thanks for inviting us into your kitchen.
You're welcome, Ashley.
So at what age does muscle typically start to break down? What age do you lose it?
Surprisingly, we start losing muscle mass as early as in our 30s and 40s.
Wow.
By age 50 or throughout our 50s, we lose 1 to 2% of our muscle mass a year. And by age 70, we've lost 20 to 40% of our strength. And when we lose our muscle mass, our metabolism drops. We might be eating the same things, so then a few extra pounds may come on, and it just leads to, an unhealthy situation. So the reasons that we lose muscle mass, some of it is inevitable because of changes in our hormones as we age, because our blood vessels as we age can't deliver nutrients to the muscles as well, and because we don't use protein to build muscle as well as we get older. So there are things, though, that you can do to minimize that muscle loss.
So should you increase the amount of protein that you're taking in?
You actually do need to. I mean, we think about how much protein we need, and there's formulas we've used, but more recent studies have shown that especially women need to get 25 grams of protein at each meal. And think about 25 grams of protein being about 3 ounces of chicken or fish or turkey or lean beef. 25 grams of protein would be 3 cups of milk, which you wouldn't have at one meal. But you could take a little from your meat sources and your fish and poultry, and a little bit from your milk sources to try to get 25 grams of protein. Luckily, on your protein foods, you're going to have a label which will tell you how many grams are in there.
Right, of course.
And it's not as bad at lunch and at dinner because we tend to have a protein food, but it's kind of tough at breakfast because if you're just having cereal or toast,
or a bagel and cream cheese, it's
or
not
bagel and cream cheese, you don't get too many. If the bagel's big, you might get 8 grams of protein, and there's nothing in the cream cheese. So your main sources of protein are going to be your meat, your fish, your poultry, your milk, your yogurt, eggs. There'll be some in cheeses, but cheese is a lot of high fat and animal fat, so we don't like to consider that a really good source. But that 25 grams is a goal, and really most women have trouble getting it. Men may do okay, but the average woman gets about 45 a day, and so she needs to really double it up.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, especially knowing that it's as early as your 30s that you can start to lose muscle mass. What about any supplements? Are there any supplements you can take that can help?
Well, the only thing that you can really do is if you really find it's hard to get, you can use a protein drink. We usually recommend a whey protein drink, which is basically from milk. So something like that, like a serving of this would give you about 23 grams of protein, if you feel like you just can't fit it in otherwise. So you also have your beans. I mean, as women get older, they don't really like meat, fish, and poultry too much. They lose their taste for it for some reason, and I see that in my practice.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they can get it from beans. I mainly do a vegetarian diet, and I can pretty easily get 100 grams of protein from between yogurt and milk, as well as I may use a little bit of something like this drink. But I can do a lot of beans, so that can filter in as well.
And then exercise as well.
Exercise is crucial. Use it or you're going to lose it, so lifting weights is good. I like to use these rubber tubes because they don't put stress on your joints, but they give you resistance, so you can be watching TV and put something like this under your feet, and then you can be just kind of playing around with it, or just even doing something like this, and that will help maintain your muscle mass and build your muscle mass. And often I say, sometimes women think, oh, I don't want to lift weights, you're not going to bulk up, you don't have enough testosterone, you just really want to preserve the muscle mass you have and keep that muscle moving. Even if you broke your arm, if I broke this arm and I kept exercising this arm, I will preserve more muscle in this broken arm, even though I'm not using it. Your body's just smart. Your brain says, hey, you know what? You're going to use that again, just like you're using this one. So, keep it up.
Wow, that's good to know.
And so you will actually preserve more muscle there.
Well, these are really simple things that people can do as they age to make a big difference. So thank you very much, Nancy, for telling us about this.
You're welcome.
It's great to be with you.
Thanks.